All right, so we're up. I've got some technical things to do, so hang with me. I'm hoping it's going to be light enough. I'm hoping you guys are going to be able to hear me well enough. Um, so yeah, just give me a few. I'll get my Facebook going on as well. Uh, all right. So if hi. If you're here and you can hear me okay, um please put a little comment in here. I'm gonna go onto my mat and do a couple of things and make sure that my audio is good because that's more important than the video, frankly. You don't need to see me. You're not supposed to be looking at me. You're supposed to be watching your own practice. And my cameras keep moving and all right. So let's see. Let's do a little volume test here. So it'll be somewhere like this for the most part of it. As long as that's good for to hear, then that'll work. And I'm just going to do a down dog and make sure when I'm facing away, you can still hear me. So if you could, like I say, give me some feedback, that'd be fantastic. Because I won't be able to watch in the middle. So let me know how this sounds here. Make sure everything is clear and you can hear what I'm saying. How are we doing? I know some of you, I got a thumbs up. That's good. That's a good sign. Thumbs up. Camera's crooked, but that might just have to be what it is. Hi, Wendy. You can say hi, or like I say, give me some feedback on what's going on. It's a little echoey. Okay, but you can hear me. My house is a little echoey. Just on a normal day. Hi, Wendy. All right. Okay. So we've got just a couple more minutes to go before we get started. Just a little bit of business. I have my dogs inside because it's crummy outside. So they may occasionally appear. Like Karma is on my mat right now. So try to not let my dogs distract you. Hopefully I won't let them distract me too much either. And as long as I don't see a squirrel or something, hopefully you won't hear them either. So we're going to twist today. Make sure, hang on, let me get in camera range for both cameras here. So make sure you're listening to your body, first of all, every day, always, whether you're practicing yoga or you're walking down the street. I found that I was walking just in the neighborhood, I don't know, a few days ago, and I must have been stepping weird because the outside of my calf is feeling strange. So, so now I'm paying attention to every step, which is really what we want to be doing anyway, right? If you're mindlessly going about your day, regardless of what you're doing, if you're stuck at home or you're still working or whatever, if it's always really mindless, that just kind of sucks, you know? So always, whatever your body is doing, whether you're sitting on the couch, which some of us have been doing a little bit more of than normal, watch where your hips are, right? If you're sitting crooked, your body is eventually going to get mad, right? And you're going to start feeling weird, right? And you're going to go, what did I do? Well, you sat weird and didn't pay attention, right? So paying attention to whatever you're doing, even if it's not a challenging thing, right? So with twists, keeping the spine really long is important. If you're smushed, right, or you're out of alignment of the spine, right, then with the lumbar curve and the cervical curve of your spine, if you're out of alignment there and you then try to twist, the spine doesn't like that very much. So keep your twist gentle to begin, of course, and maintain that length and proper alignment in your spine. And hopefully your twist will just be lovely, right? So I also wanted to take a moment to remind you to go to anydayyoga.com and check out what I'm doing there. There are membership pages. I don't know how long this quarantine thing is going to go, or how long the gyms will be closed, or that kind of thing. So if you're feeling the spirit and you want to take a membership page, it is $10 a month. You can cancel at any time. There's also a yearly membership on there as well. That's a little bit more cost effective. If you can, that would be great. If you are struggling, like so many of us, forget I said that, right? I want to do this. I want to do this for everyone. So what was it? Oh, one other thing. I am entertaining the idea of doing a headstand workshop. So I got a lot of reaction when I posted a headstand on Facebook. And I know some people are interested in figuring out how to make that happen, or just to get some information about inversions. It will be a little bit different, but I'm tossing the idea around in my head. And if you're interested in something like that, please shoot me a little message here or on the website, or a Facebook message, whatever your choice is. And just give me a little bit of feedback on that. It's really fun. Going upside down is really fun. Sound like a 6-year-old, but it is. It's fun. But it'll take a little bit more work. So if you're up for it, give me a holler. If there's something else you'd like to see too, if you're missing this or that pose or whatever, give me a holler. I'm always up for the challenge of throwing things in and whatever. So let me just give one little check more to, oh yeah, all right, cool. To my notes and make sure everybody is cool. And we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to sit to begin. So come to the top of your mat and sit. I have to make space. Carmen, how would you go lay down on the couch, baby? Come on. Lay down on the couch. Good girl. Oh, that was my knee. So find a comfortable seat here. Go lay down. And align the heels to the groin. Taking your inner thigh rotation so that the flesh is out from underneath the seat, and you can sit up well and properly on your pelvis. If you want to sit on a blanket or up against a wall at any point, you're always welcome to do that if this is just impossible. Engage your lower belly. So pull the pelvic floor up, lower belly in and up like an ice cream scoop. Right? In and up. And then engage along the side. So again, we're creating this space and length in our spine. Relax your shoulders down and back. Extend that length all the way through the crown of the head like you're pressing up toward the ceiling. Go ahead and close your eyes. And at the same time, the spine is lengthening up. See if you can relax down into your hips and shoulders. And just take a moment here to, again, check your alignment and see how it feels to just be here. Find your breath. What is your breath doing? Breathe all through the nose and allow your breath to expand. So take your inhales a little bigger. Take your exhales a little bit more complete. And eventually find a place that is just beyond comfortable. So even make your breath just a little bit of work, just a little bit of a stretch. And then stay connected to this new breath. This is the breath that ideally flows the whole class long. Let's extend the arms out to the sides. With an inhale, we're going to reach them up. And then on the exhale, bring them back down again. We'll do that again. One more time. And then gently open your eyes and bring yourself around onto your hands and knees. Take a moment to place your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees up underneath your hips here. So you've got this nice little tabletop. The belly is still pulled in, supporting your back, keeping it neutral. Four corners of the hands even on the mat, so you're not dumping into the wrists. And then we're just going to move through some cat-cow. So with the inhale, drop your belly toward the floor, pull your shoulder blades together, stick your butt out back there. And then exhale and reverse that. Tuck your tailbone, drop your forehead toward your belly button. And then follow your breath in and out of those two poses. Slow and smooth through the spine. See if you can work a little deeper or more evenly through the spine. There are those tight spots that don't really want to go. See if you can kind of dig into them. One more breath like that here. And then we'll find a middle. So back to that really neutral spine again. Belly's pulled in, supporting. We're gonna take the left hand, palm face up, weave it underneath here. So you can drop down just to your elbow, right? That's a nice little twist. Or you can come all the way down to your shoulder and move a little deeper. So take a second to make sure that your spine feels long, right? You're not compressed. If the shoulder moved in toward your knees, you're a little short or leaning back. If you're too far away, you're leaning too heavily, right? We want to be right in that same alignment here. So again, this is early, so take the amount of twist that is right for you. You can move into this a little bit deeper. If you start to press into the left arm, it kind of pulls the belly around a little bit, if you can feel that. Stay even on your knees, try not to shift to the left there. And then if you press harder into your right hand, you can actually draw your shoulder back a little bit more and deepen the twist all the way up the spine. So nice and neutral, or nice and even through your spine. Keeping the breath flowing nice and smooth. This right hand can stay on the floor, or it can reach up toward the ceiling if you'd like. We're really working the shoulder as far back as it'll go though, because that's where you're gonna feel it. The arm can do whatever and not change the shoulder at all, right? Or not change the twist at all. So just wherever that one goes. Find length, pull and kind of press with the hands to work a little deeper. We're gonna take one more breath here. And then release that, coming back into our all fours. And then switch to the second side. So the right hand weaves under here. Again, your elbow to the floor, that's a nice, gentle, little easy way to make it happen. Or extend out, dropping your shoulder all the way to the floor. And the shoulder is kind of in the middle of the mat as much as you can. So the spine is really even and neutral here. And then if you want a little bit more work or a little bit deeper twist, push into the floor with the right arm, push into the floor with the left hand, and draw around a little deeper. So the left hand on the mat or up toward the ceiling. Remember, it's about where the shoulder is, not where the hand is so much, right? So let's take one more breath, and then we're gonna release all of that and come back to the all fours. So that neutral spine again. Check in with the belly, check in with the link, make sure you're breathing. And then let's go ahead and extend the right leg straight back. So heel in line with the hip here, we wanna press through the heel. And then from there, extend the left arm forward. And we wanna be a nice long line from the fingertips to the heel. So that leg will lift higher, but we wanna keep the hips level, right? Stay on that nice straight line. Take a couple of breaths. You might be a little wobbly here. And then release that back down. And switch to your second side. So exact same thing, left leg back, press through the heel, flex that foot like you're standing on your left leg. And then extend the right arm forward, reaching away. Feel all of those muscles in between really working here. Just checking in with everybody. Awesome. One more breath. And then release it back to your all fours again. So same idea, we're gonna switch it up a little bit. Go ahead and extend the right leg back. Press through the heel. Left arm forward, stretch to your fingertips. Make it really work. Take the left arm out to the left off your shoulder and bring the leg around to the right, maybe with your heel in line with your hip-ish. Wobble, breathe. Release the hand, we're gonna take the toes to the floor and come up on the knee. So cushion your knee if this is too much. Heel in line with the hip. We'll take the left arm up and then over the outside of the leg here. Keeping this shoulder back so you're really stretching into the side of your body. With an inhale, we're gonna make our way back up to the middle. Release the hands back to the mat. And then lift that leg and hang it out there. It doesn't have to be high up off the floor to be work. Try not to lean a whole bunch over to the left. Try and stay centered. Stick the leg back and down. So work your way to the second side, extending the left arm or the left leg and the right arm. And then take it out to the side. So the arm over to the right and the leg around to the left. Bring the hand to the mat. We're going to take the toes over to the side again and come up. Cushion the knee. Sometimes you get a little cramp in the hip here. So if you bend, usually that will go away. Heel in line with the hip. Let's extend the right arm and take it over the outside of the leg. Keep the shoulder back. What's your breath doing? With the next inhale, bring yourself back up. Release the hands. Lift the leg and hold it out there. And then take the leg back and down. So when we're here on the hands and knees like we are, go ahead and extend your right leg and left arm one more time. This time, bend your knee and have the hand reach back and see about finding your foot. So maybe finding your foot is the trouble, right? Or the work, the challenge. Okay? Pressing the foot into the hand, you get to draw that shoulder back a little deeper. You can lift the toes higher, try and keep the knee in rather than opening out to the side. You breathe in, keeping the spine long. And then release that. Take it back into all fours. And work your second side. So left leg and right arm. Bending at the knee and finding the foot here. Foot presses into the hand, the toes may lift a little higher. make sure you're challenging yourself, wherever that might be. Sometimes you might need to add things on even. And then release that, stretching out and coming back down. So let's go ahead and sit the hips back to the heels and take child's pose. Let your spine lengthen here. Just release it all. See as if, or feel as if you're sinking into your child's pose. Take another breath here. And then stretch the arms out long in front and ground the four corners of your hands nice and evenly into the mat. We're gonna lift the knees away from the floor and make our way to our first down dog. So since it's your first down dog, let yourself just kind of wiggle and shift, stretch. And then allow yourself to settle in. So really push into the floor. Keep the arms long and working. As much as you can, press your chest back to your thighs so your hips lift nice and high. And then sink into your heels. Maybe they touch the floor, maybe they don't. So keep what you have. And then how about lifting the right leg? Does not have to be high. In line with the hip and shoulders, right? So that you look sort of like you could be standing up. And then open your right hip. Try and keep your shoulders level, pointing your toes toward the ceiling-ish. Bending at the knee, you can point the knee up toward the ceiling. Really work to keep that left shoulder lifted. It likes to drop. Release it. And then let's switch sides. So with the left leg. Keeping it level for a moment, pressing through your heels. And then allow the hip to open, toes move higher. And the knee bends. Working to keep the shoulders level is key. The arms even into the mat. And then release that. So from here, walk the feet to the hands, come to a standing fold. And take the time to align your body. Okay? So feet right up underneath your hip bones. Toes point forward. And then let's work into the legs a little bit here. So maybe just kind of walk in place. Bend into one knee, press through the opposite heel. Switch sides back and forth like that. And then come to center. Bend the knees enough so that your belly touches your thighs. You may have to bend more or less, either way. Take the arms behind your legs. Wrap around back there. And maybe grab your elbow or your wrist or whatever you got. Keep the belly on the thighs. And see about taking the legs straighter. Maybe they go straight, maybe they do not go straight. Keep the belly on the thighs. Let your head hang wherever you go. Release it. Knees bent still here if you prefer. We're going to take the fingers, interlacing behind the lower back. Shoulder blades draw toward each other, hands stretch away from those shoulders. Find length in your spine. Maybe the hands lift up off the lower back. Feel even on your feet, long through your spine here. Make sure you're breathing. And then release it. We'll take a bend into the knees here. With an inhale, roll up through your spine, one vertebra at a time. And come up to standing. So check in, feet up underneath the hip bones. We're gonna move through some sun salutes, get into our twists a little bit deeper here. So take your time, modify if you need to modify, certainly. With an inhale, stretch the arms up. And on the exhale, take yourself into fold. Inhale, come halfway up. And then on the exhale, step the right foot back into a lunge. So nice big step back. You can drop the back knee if you feel like you need to, right? Just kind of roll around into your hips a little bit here. Making up that hip flexor for the first time. And then sweeping the legs toward each other so the hips stay nice and level. You can absolutely have the right knee on the floor if you need it. We're gonna bring the left hand to the hip. Rotate the belly toward the inner thigh. Imagine turning your left side ribs toward the ceiling, drawing that shoulder back. Extend through your right heel all the way out the crown of your head. Belly's in, supporting your back. So you're creating that space in not just the spine, but your whole body. And then release the twist. We'll step back to down dog. With an inhale, slide forward to a plank. Drop to the knees if you'd like here. Elbows tight to the sides. Come on down to your belly. Hands next to your side ribs so the shoulders draw back. Easy little roll into the shoulders. And then release it. Lift your belly and chest at the same time. Come back to down dog. And then we're going to switch sides. So bring the right foot forward. Work your toes all the way up to the top of your mat so the knee and ankle are stacked. Drop the left knee if you want. Roll around a little bit here. And then find that middle. Sweeping the legs toward each other. Bring the right hand to the hip and rotate around. Extending long through your left heel, out the crown of your head. Let's release the twist, and we'll step forward back to the top of the mat. With an inhale, come halfway up. Exhale back over into your fold. Come all the way up, stretch to the ceiling. And then release the arms. So let's go again like that. We're going to change it up a little bit. Inhale. Exhale into your fold. Halfway up. And then the left foot back lunge. So find steady on your legs again here. Sweep the legs toward each other up underneath. If you're feeling unstable, drop the left knee. We're going to bring the right hand to the inside of the foot. Glue your arm and leg together. Keep sweeping the legs toward each other so that hip doesn't drop back. This time here, left hand to the hip, and we're going to rotate the belly away from the thigh. Left side ribs toward the ceiling, the shoulders drawn back. Again, for a little bit more stability, you can drop the back knee. Big full breaths here. No wheel pose, but we are getting close to that toward the end. Take one more breath. And then release the twist. Step back to down dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Knees if you'd like, down to the belly. Hands next to the sides. Roll your shoulders. This time pull and add some space to your spine. Release that. Up and back, down dog. Let's step the left foot forward. Again, drop the back knee if you like. Sweep the legs toward each other. Stay strong. Bring the left hand to the inside, right hand to the hip, rotating the belly away. One more nice big breath here. And then release. Step forward, fold. Halfway up. Take it over again, fold. All the way up. And release the arms. So we've got one more. Inhale. Exhale into your fold. Halfway up. And right foot back to lunge again. Drop the knees, sweep the leg, well, if you want to drop the knee, of course. Sweep the legs toward each other and climb up on the thigh. Lift your upper body. Sink into the hips as much as you can. Support on the leg if you need, or maybe reach the arms. Let's release it. Come over into your lunge and step back, down dog. With an inhale, slide forward. Drop the knees if you'd like. Elbows tight to your sides all the way down. Hands next to the side ribs. Roll your shoulders. Little pull, maybe a little press. And then release. Back to down dog. And then stepping the right foot forward. Toes all the way up to those fingers. Knee to the mat if you'd like. Sweep the legs together, climb on up on the thigh. Come as vertical as you can with your upper body. Keep that back leg straight and strong. Hands down or up. And then release, come back over into your lunge. Step forward, fold. On an inhale, come halfway up. Exhale back over. All the way up, stretching the arms toward the ceiling. Exhale them to your sides. All right. So getting into our standing poses here, moving a little deeper into those twists again. Let's take a short step back with the right foot. So all 10 toes point toward the top of the mat. Okay. Go ahead and bend into the left knee without lifting your right heel. So if you need to change your stance, change your stance. Or if you feel like you're about to fall down, open your feet a little wider. So hands to the hips. I've had way too much coffee this morning. So let's bring that right hip forward a little bit, squaring the hips to the top of the mat. Hang on here, or maybe extend the arms. We're going to open into a warrior two then. So take the arms parallel to the floor, left arm over left leg. Probably open your feet wider. This time the right toes are turned in just a little bit. Shoulders over hips. You can see your big toe beyond your left knee. And then bend the left arm. Rest the forearm on the thigh here. Right arm up and over. Stretch into a long line, fingertips to heel. And then let's release that. Come over into a lunge. So let's start with the back knee on the floor. And you can modify these. There's about a million different ways you can twist here. I'm in a cue, moving a little deeper. So right knee on the floor if you want it. You can keep it simple. Left hand to the hip and twist like we did earlier. Right? Certainly viable. Or the knee off the floor in that variation as well. Maybe climb up on the thigh. Let your hips come forward. Here, see how I'm bringing this right elbow to the outside of the left knee. And you can kind of rotate the belly around and maybe dig your elbow in a little bit deeper so you've got a little bit more leverage. Palms together. And then draw the thumbs back toward the center of your chest. So you're using this elbow to press yourself into a little bit deeper twist, or not, right? Listen to your body, find that length. If your right knee is on the floor, can you lift it up? Maybe. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then release the twist. So let's step back to down dog. Give yourself a little wiggle. Shift forward into a plank. Take it down to the belly. Roll to your shoulders, maybe a little press, a little pull if that's you. And then release, back to down dog. And we're gonna step that left foot forward again. So it's the same foot, toes all the way out to the fingers. And taking that little vinyasa is just to give the hip a break because it sometimes gets a little stuck. So sweeping the legs toward each other, dropping the back knee, probably this one's a little bit trickier. We're gonna bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot again. So you can keep it simple, right hand to the hip and rotate away. We did that earlier, not a big deal, totally fine. Maybe slide that right hand behind your back and reach toward the outside of your left hip. So here, right, not the crack, no crack. So you can press with the left arm into the leg, rotate the belly around, rotate the side ribs back, rotate that right shoulder back. Deeper twist, but if you really want to play, see about taking that left hand underneath the thigh and maybe find your fingers. So again, make sure you stay out of the crack, reaching for the outside of the hip. So maybe your fingers touch and maybe they don't worry about it. Push with your left arm, pull, rotating around into the twist. And then release all of that craziness. Step back to a down dog and wiggle. Stepping the feet forward, come back to the standing fold. And then again here, how about a little bend in the knees on the inhale, roll your spine up. And we'll work the second side. So that short step back with the left foot this time. Just make sure everybody's good. Awesome. All right, so warrior one here, all 10 toes pointing forward. Making sure you're stable on your feet, bend into the right knee. Hips are square. And then we reach the arms. Remember, what's furthest away from the floor is least important. So if you do not stretch your arms up toward the ceiling, it doesn't change anything, right? Go ahead and take another nice big breath. And then let's open to our warrior two. So walk your left foot back a little bit. Check in that you see your right big toe beyond your knee. Shoulders stack over the hips. And then bend the right elbow, rest the forearm, left arm up and over, stretching through your fingertips here. And tons of length and space. If you can drop deeper into your hips, certainly feel free to do that. And then let's release over to lunge. So remember, back knee down variation if that's where you want to be. Keep it simple again here, maybe just by bringing the right hand to the hip. You got a twist. Okay? If you'd like, climb on up. And again, the left knee can be on the floor or off. Take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Rotate the belly around, dig in there. And then the palms come to touch. Pressing into the outside of the knee, keep that knee pointing forward. Thumbs come more to the center of the chest. And maybe at this point, if you feel like it, you can lift the left knee. One more breath. Release it, come back to lunge, and we'll step back to our down dog. Sliding forward, come to plank, and take it down to the belly. Roll to your cobra, and then release, move back to down dog. Let's step the left foot forward. No, it's your right foot forward. So yeah, right foot forward. Left knee on the floor, maybe, probably, it's a little wobbly, of course. Right hand to the inside. Arm and leg into each other, nice and firm here. So the options, of course, are to just bring your left hand to the hip and rotate away like we did earlier. Pressing the arm into the leg and opening up. If you want more, the left hand snakes behind the back for the outside of the hip. And then pull, right? If you pull, you might be able to rotate around a little bit more, and that might be enough. But maybe take that right hand underneath, reaching for the outside of the hip. So you may or may not find your fingers, don't worry too much about that. If you're facing the floor just to find your fingers, there's no twist, right? So maybe the fingers don't find each other, but you have this really beautiful twist. So play where you are. If you want to lift the left knee up off the floor because you're having so much fun, you can do that. And then release what you got. Step back to down dog. And again here, just let yourself kind of shake it out. Wiggle and stretch. Let's walk the feet forward, come back to the standing fold. Bend into the knees, and on an inhale, roll on up. I do not have my air set low enough. So we're going to take standing balance here. If you need to be in your wall, certainly do that. If you want to step up off your mat, that's totally fine as well. We're going to take our balance and give it a little twist. Shocking, I know. So let's go ahead and shift the weight over into the left foot, and we're just going to lift the right knee. It does not have to get fancier than that. We're going to start here. So bring the left hand to the outside of that knee, or thigh, wherever. Keep the knee pointing forward, or it doesn't work. Pull against the leg, and see if you can feel your belly turn to the right. So it doesn't have to get any fancier than this. Stand up really tall wherever you're going to go. If you'd like to slide your hand down to the outside of the calf, keep the knee pointing forward. Or the outside of the foot points forward. And then maybe you can extend the leg. Reach the right hand back. If you're brave, look over your right thumb. Keep the right knee pointing forward. Take one more breath. And then release all of that. And we'll move to the second side. So, all the way to the right. Lift the left. Keep that knee pointing forward. That's where the magic happens. So the right hand to the outside of the leg. And we gently begin to pull. So find your twist. And this is it. You're standing, you're balancing, and you're twisting. Yay. Right? If you want to make it more fancy, you reach down a little or reach down a lot. Maybe take the leg straight. Extend the left hand, change your gaze. Any little piece that makes it a challenge. If you're already wobbly, that's your challenge. You don't have to add anything else. One more breath. And then release it all. All right. So I usually say something like nobody died here, but I can't see you guys, but I'm sure nobody's died. We're all good, right? So inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, take yourself over into a fold. And let yourself just hang for a moment. Step back into a down dog. And then go ahead and drop down. Give yourself a few breaths in a child's pose. Bring your mind back in if it wandered off, especially with that crazy twisting balance pose. From that child's pose, let's go ahead and slide out into kneeling plank. So the knees on the mat. We're going to take a side plank variation here. I'm going to turn away from you so you can kind of see what's going on with my legs, because that will make more sense than seeing it from the front for now. So the right foot is going to move to the right side of the mat. Keep the knee on the floor and open to the left here. So your right hand, right knee, and left toes are in a straight line as if you were standing up-ish, right? Left hand to the hip, doesn't matter what that left hand does so much. So let's take that left foot behind the body, anywhere, right? So on either side of the leg, of course not on the leg would be a bad idea. Tuck the tailbone under so the pelvis kind of lifts a little bit here. See if you can take this left shoulder, drop it back, turn your chest more toward the ceiling. If you want to stretch up or forward with the hand, that's totally fine. Take another nice big breath. And then release that. Come over into kneeling plank. So that same idea to the second side. See what happens here. Left foot over. Maybe step your right foot back. Up on the toes, closer to the body is easier than further away. So tuck your tailbone. The pelvis lifts, feel that. See about dropping the right shoulder back, looking and turning more toward the ceiling. Right arm to the ceiling or reaching toward the top of your mat, the front of your room, wherever you are. And then releasing that, come on back over to your kneeling plank. And drop down, take a child's pose. So the same rules, right? That lengthen through the spine. Nothing should feel pinched in those places. Check it in with you guys. Hey, Amy. All right, so come back into, let's move into down dog this time. If that last pose was challenging enough, that's where you're gonna stay. So from that kneeling plank. And this is essentially that without the knee on the floor, right? So you decide, either your kneeling plank or your down dog. This time here, from that down dog, we're going to lift the left leg, just like we did earlier. Open the hip, take the toes really high and bend at the knee. So now that left foot is going to come to the floor behind the body. And yes, your left hand will have to lift. So you can still be in a knee down variation, right? See it? Tuck the tailbone, lift the hips. Draw the left shoulder back, left arm reaching up or more toward the front of your room. We're on the left toes. The right leg can be a little bent or straighter. Keep everything long. We're moving back to down dog or kneeling plank. All right, so second side, whatever variation you're feeling, right? Listen to your body. So if you're in down dog, lift your right leg. Open up the hip, toes high, bend at the knee, and then let that foot come to the floor behind the body. So up on those toes, closer to is easier. Tuck your tailbone, lifting the pelvis. And then the right arm reaching up, shoulder dropping back, maybe forward. Listen to where your body takes you. Can you breathe here? Kind of important. And then make your way back to your down dog or over into your kneeling plank. Nice and easy here. Drop it down, take child's pose. All right. So from your child's pose, go ahead and slide forward, come out onto your belly, and then roll over onto your back. You don't even have to get up again. And just take a moment to make sure that your spine feels aligned, you're even across your hips and shoulders. Rest them back. And then we'll draw the knees into the chest and rock a little bit. So take the feet flat to the floor. And take a second to make sure, again, your spine feels really long and neutral. Even across your hips, shoulders are level into the mat. We're going to extend the right leg straight up. And then reach back behind the right thigh. If you have a strap, you can certainly use that here. Work with your breath. Exhale and pull that leg a little closer to your chest. And then inhale, let it go just a little bit. In and out like that. And as you pull the leg in, make sure that the hips and spine stay neutral on the floor. We'll find a neutral place for this right leg. So a little bit of stretch, but nothing crazy. Extend the left arm out to the left and glue the left side of your body to the floor. Support the leg with your right hand and let it fall open to the right without the left hip lifting up off the floor. So catch the weight of the leg. If it does start to lift, pull it back until you're neutral again. So don't worry about that right foot touching the floor. Ideally, the heel is in line with the hip here, right? We don't want it to sink too far toward the bottom of the mat. If you can go more toward the top of your mat, you're welcome to open up into there. But really focus on where your pelvis is. That's the important piece here. And then bring the leg back up to center. We're going to take that right leg across the body and go ahead and place it somewhere near your right hand. So yes, your right hip is going to have to lift up off the floor. Right arm extends out to the right. And if the foot doesn't hit the hand, don't worry about it. If it doesn't hit the floor, don't worry about it. If it needs to be a little more straight or a little bit more bent, up to you. So let this last twist be about gravity, right? So however far you got by working and pushing and pulling against your knee or the floor or whatever, let this be about gravity, doing all of the work. And notice if it's maybe deeper, maybe not. Maybe you feel it in one place of the spine or another. We're going to take another nice big breath here. And then bend this right leg if you feel like you need to. We're going to come back up to center. Release the right foot to the floor. And do the exact same thing on the other side. So the hips are level. Let's extend the left leg up toward the ceiling. And again, reaching back behind the thigh here. Exhale as you pull closer. Inhale as you let go a little. So a gentle little in and out. And it can be bigger movements or smaller. Just notice the place right before your pelvis kind of tilts, so your tailbone is pointing more toward the ceiling than the floor. Right? Find that place just before before that. So let's go once more like that. And then find neutral for the left leg. Right? That might be a little bit more toward the top or more toward center. Again, try not to let it slide toward the bottom of your mat. Extend the right arm out to the right. Support the outside of your leg with your left hand and let it fall to the left. So again, the floor isn't really the goal. Focusing on the pelvis. Let the leg be heavy into the hand. And we'll take another nice big breath. Bringing the leg back up to the middle. And then take it across your body. And somewhere near your right hand-ish. Extending the left arm back out to the left. And again here, just letting that leg be heavy. Letting gravity work you into the pose. Noticing the difference between this and when you were working in the twist. Let's take another nice big breath. Bend at the knee if you feel like you need, and then make your way back up to the middle. Releasing the right foot. Take a second to make sure that spine feels long. And then go ahead and draw your knees back into your chest and rock a little bit here. So massage your back against the floor. Let's pull the knees into the chest as tight as they'll go. Really give them a good squeeze. See if you can wrap your arms across your shins and squeeze them even tighter. And then pull your forehead towards your knees and round up into this tiny little ball. Releasing that out into a full body stretch. Get extra long again. And then release the stretch. Let your arms come down by your sides. Moving into Shavasana here. So remember, you can be extended on the floor. You can have your feet flat to the floor. You can take a seated meditation position. You're at home. If you have the space, you can always do legs up the wall, or if you're seated, you can sit back against the wall. Wherever you're going to be super comfortable. So find that place for your body. And then allow your body to still. No more wiggling, you're there. See if you can release the muscles into the mat. If you're in a seated position, release your hips and shoulders. Stay sitting up nice and tall. Close your eyes if you're not already. And then move your attention back to your breath, slowly to your breath. Release control. Keeping your mind quiet, present. And just allowing yourself a few minutes to simply be. Slowly drawing a deep cleansing breath. Allowing it to escape through a big sigh. Starting small, begin to wiggle, move, and stretch. When you're ready, take the feet flat to the floor. Gently. We'll bring the palms to touch. Bowing your head to your heart. From my heart to yours. Namaste. Thanks so much for coming and hanging with me. Hopefully, if you missed it live, you will catch it at some point. I can't wait till I can see you all again. I am still working on that. So if you have suggestions, I think Messenger works, but we'll see. All right. Thank you all. Have a great day, great weekend. Get outside if you can. Namaste. All right.